Hi, this is Kurdt Vanderhoof
And Ronny Munroe
from Metal Church, and you're watching
The Age of Metal.
Hello everyone, this is Miguel with the Age of Metal, and I'm here at Asylum Records with none other than Kurdt and Ronny of Metal Church. How you doing, guys?
Doing great, man. Happy to be here.
Nice. Alright, it's been 4 days into the tour. It's going to be a long month, pretty much 30 days, straightforward. How has been the tour so far for you guys, who's been back in the road?
Oh, it's been great. I mean, there's always, to kind of get back in that kind of mindset and kind of get back in the flow of things takes a little bit. Shows actually started out really great. We're having a great time. We're just really happy to be out playing again.
What about for you, Ronny?
The same for me. I mean, the fans have been great so far, and turnouts have been really good as well. And the hour and a half on stage is what we live for.
Gotcha. Well, Generation Nothing came out last October. Definitely the 10th album of Metal Church, and represents the comeback of the band. But also, it represents going back, to the roots, to the essence of the band.
Right.
How has been the reception of the fans to this new album, to this new material?
Oh, it's been great. I mean, it's been the best received album we've done since the new lineup. So yeah, I mean that in itself is it's been huge for us, and that's kind of given the band new life, and it's made it possible for us to be out doing this again.
What about for you, Ronny? How you feel the fans have responded to the album?
We're getting a great response from the record, and Kurt's the writing this time around. I really think he hit the nail on the head, so to speak. It harkens back to the old
hammer.
It harkens back to the old days, but with also us now in the Generation Nothing. So it's great. The response has been great.
Now, what we have here is a band that is pioneer in the American metal and pioneer in the thrash metal scene from back in the 80s. We're talking about more than 25 years, and we're talking about more than 10 albums on your belt.
Yeah.
How difficult it gets to put a set list night after night in these kind of tours?
Well, to be perfectly honest, because we've been around so long, and there's a lot of what we call greatest hits or greatest not hits. We have the stuff we got to play. We got to play the stuff off the first 3 records. Off the first record and all that. We have to do those songs. I mean, it's like when I go see some of my favorite bands that have been around for 30, 40 years. I have to hear the classic songs. We're throwing in the new songs off the new record because that's kind of why we're out here. But we got to play the classics. So the set list, the only thing we really have to decide on is what new songs we're playing. The rest of the set's kind of decided for us. So,
how many songs of the new album you guys are playing on this record? On this tour, I'm sorry.
We're doing 3 so far. Yeah, Dead City, Generation Nothing, and Scream.
Well, Generation Nothing is a strong name, and it can invoke many things. And the first thing that comes to my mind was the state of the music business and how things are these days. Yep. Where the name come from, and exactly what you guys named the album Generation Nothing?
Well, it's not necessarily about a particular age group, even though it kind of is, but it's more about a mindset. What it is, it's about the kind of the ramifications of the new way of life. The new way of life is obviously everything's the internet, everything's computer. But the real problem for me with it is the fact that everything is fake. Most people that have grown up with the internet, instead of using it for the things that it's actually good for, it's actually doing a lot of damage, in the sense that kids are growing up with their friends are virtual, they're fake. They're not real people that they know or interact with on a physical basis. The music that most kids listen to today is completely fake. It's completely computer generated, and if there's a singer, it's pitch corrected to death. You can't tell if a new band comes out. The only way you know if they're any good is you have to go see them live and go look back at the mixing console and make sure there's not a sampler or a computer going. You don't know. So that's fake, and that's complete BS as far as I'm concerned. And the other fact, even it comes down to even your physical this generation's physical activities are virtual. What are you doing? Playing tennis. You know, and you know, yeah, and everybody's getting extremely unhealthy, and it's about, you know, the ramifications of living a life like that, living your life through a screen, and you know, your whole life.
Each other at the mall because they're buried in their phone, and you know, it's ridiculous.
It's insane. You know, a lot of it is a necessary evil now. You know, yeah, I got my iPhone and my iPad and my computer and stuff, but I get, you know, you really got to balance it out. I mean, you have to use it for business, you know, and it's great to be able to in contact with your friends and family and loved ones all the time, especially when we're on tour. But when your whole world is virtual, you know, that's what the album is about, and it's about everything that's fake and just your generation nothing when they, well, and also too a mentality that is about, you know, can't understand why we're all up in arms about piracy. You know, they think it should be free. It's like no concept of what it takes to make these records, no concept how much time it takes, how much money it takes to buy the equipment, and how much time it takes to learn how to do it. You know, and that kind of mentality, that's generation nothing.
Gotcha. That's pretty much in canvas. Pretty much many things that you say that pretty much are true with the generation that we live in now.
Yep.
Now, Metal Church definitely is one of those bands that helped shape the landscape of American metal. That's no doubt. Many consider Metal Church as an influence. Many consider as a band that get you into music. Many people consider the band that they start listening to it. You guys, you know, been around for a long time. You were out on tour with Metallica back in the day. But since the band had gone through a lot of lineup changes, had hiatus periods, in your opinion, do you believe that the lineup changes that happened in the past influenced on the band's destiny?
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. I mean, that is absolutely the first reason that the band kind of fell off the map, because at the beginning of all this, it was the big five. You know, it was us, Metallica, Slayer, Anthrax, and Megadeth. And Megadeth actually came in a little bit later, but the fact that, you know, we were continuing to go up, but as time went on, the lineup changes and everything, all that definitely derailed the whole thing, along with some very bad business decisions. And so, yeah, without a doubt, that is exactly why. Exactly why. And, you know, and I'm not bitter about that at all. That's just, we're that band. We're the band that had the tumultuous history, you know, and that's our lot in life, you know. But by the same token, it's, you know, there's some good things that come out of it too, because now we're still alive, we're still doing this, and we're also doing it from a little bit of a different headspace, going just being really glad that we're able to still do it, rather than, you know, kind of being so big and so full of yourself that you're not out there doing it for the right reasons. So there's, you know, there's good and bad in all of it, but yeah, the lineup changes and all that kind of stuff was absolutely why.
What is your take on that, Ronny?
I'm just glad we're alive. Well, being the third singer, you know, it's been heavy shoes to fill, but I think things are changing a little bit now with this record. The reviews have been better, and the bottom line is this: that is the history of the band, and I just feel very lucky and blessed to be the lead singer of Metal Church, and Kurdt keeps me around for whatever reason, and you know, we're going to be doing this for, I know, I love it. But no, yeah, it's just, we're having a great time. I just go back to that. We're lucky to be doing this. I'm lucky to be doing this, and we're going to be around for a long time to come.
Now, Metal Church still have more dates after the North American tour. I saw that you guys going to be in Europe for a while, and it's one date that caught my attention, and it's the first time in Finland, going to the Tosca Festival.
Right.
The first time that you guys playing ever.
Yep.
Knowing the influence that the Finnish had in metal during the last 20 years, how are your feelings about, you know, going the first time in Finland? What are your expectations about that?
I don't know if I really have any expectations about Finland, because I'm not really familiar with a lot of the bands that have done. Maybe, I guess, Sonata Arctica. Yeah, they're really good. Yeah, I mean, I've heard of them. I'm more familiar with Sonata Arctica, but I don't really have any expectations in that respect, because we've never been there before. So that in itself is just, that's big. Kind of like this year was our first time in Brazil. So there's a lot of firsts happening for the band now, which is really cool. You know,
how was the experience in Brazil?
Oh, that was awesome. I mean, because the fans were really, really ready for us to play there finally, and you know, we wanted to be there too. So it was a good show. We were playing with Twisted Sister, and a third of the crowd left after we were done. So that was fun.
It was down for us to come out and sign autographs and whatnot, and it was Beatle-esque, if you will.
Was this time the first time in South America?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. So that was really cool. So, you know, I mean, we're certainly not saying we're going to expect anything like that in Finland, but just just being able to go there is, you know, that's huge.
Okay. We established already that metal church has been a big influence in music, in metal, in American metal especially. But what current new bands are you guys into these days? You guys are listening to new bands that are coming up, and you know, I mean, like
I listen to as many new bands as I can, which sadly isn't a whole lot. I try, but current band that I love is The Darkness. I think they're absolutely fantastic. Porcupine Tree is great. Okay. A lot of the neo-prog stuff I'm a big fan of. I'm sure there's a couple others that I'm not.
Airborne. The Winery Dogs are great.
Airborne is great. So fortunately, there's actually there's a bunch of new bands that I think are really good, because there was a period of time where there wasn't anything going on, you know, thanks to the alternative scene that kind of, you know, killed all the things that I love about rock for a while. But fortunately, that's changing. So.
Well, there's a lot of great young up-and-coming bands, metal bands like Holy Grail, Steel Wing. I think they're from Sweden and whatnot, I think. But they're kind of hearkening back to the old days, and it's great to see that. Such as like the fans that we had at the Whiskey and probably tonight. A lot of that's coming back. The red Levi's, the white high-top sneakers, the stuff that we used to wear, the old metal church shirts, vintage shirts showing up there at these 18-year-old kids and whatnot. There is hope.
They're wearing the uniform, you know. That's great, you know.
Colors. Yeah.
well, now often I come across with bands bringing all sort of new things, new strategies to the merch table. From products, music, going to meet and greets, BAPs. We have made art or jewelry. What is your take on these new ways that the band are looking to, you know, merge themselves, and what is Metal Church have to offer in that aspect?
We're not trying to be really cutting edge in anything other than what we're trying to do is we're trying to adapt to the new music industry, which is one of the reasons we stopped a few years back, because we needed to kind of stop and quit trying to do things the old way. And so, yeah, it's adapt or survive. So what we're bringing to the merch table is just, you know, the classic things that you want. You know, a T-shirt. You know, we do have some Frisbees and some stuff like that. But right at the moment, we're just, you know, putting it out there because that's how you live now. You know, and again,
T-shirt salesman, really.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, that's kind of an afterthought to the music and being out playing again. But because it's a new music industry, these are the ways you survive. And now it's direct artist to fans. So we come out after the show and meet our fans directly, and then they buy a T-shirt. We're happy to sign it, you know, and, you know, spending their hard-earned dollars on something that has our name on it, you know. So, I mean, we're not trying to be cutting edge in anything, even musically, because we'll leave that to somebody else. I don't want to put out a Metal Church record that sounds like, you know, White Zombie or something, you know, because that would, you know, or, I mean, not necessarily White Zombie, bad example, but anything kind of modern and new, that would be real disingenuous for us because we're not that kind of band. You know, let somebody else do something new. I don't really I don't have any interest in changing anything. You know,
this is what we do.
Yeah, exactly. If you keep changing rock and roll, it's not rock and roll anymore. And if you keep changing it from things that I like, then I don't like it anymore. You know.
Well, what is in the horizon for Metal Church for the rest of 2014? Like right after this North American tour and after Europe.
Well, the horizon is more records. We have a kind of a surprise record coming out, and I will just leave it at that. And then we'll start working on, and we're also working on the follow-up to Generation Nothing.
Okay. Yep. When that will planning to be like 2015, 16?
Yes, possibly. The new studio album will be maybe the end of this year, depending on how busy we are. But yeah, we definitely going to have another record coming out this year, and then the follow-up to Generation Nothing. Probably the end of this year, next year. So,
well, Kurdt and Ronny, thank you very much for taking the time to speak in here with us at the Age of Metal. And the last words are yours. Any last words that you want to address to the Metal Church fans out there?
You know, the only thing I can really think, I mean, just the Metal Church fans really got to understand how grateful we are that we even have fans now. You know, still after all this time. I mean, you know, there was a period of time where being in a band over 30 was not going to happen. So the fact that we're out here doing it and people are showing up and people are liking what we're doing, you know, I mean, that's not lost on us. So that's a thank you.
Exactly. Well, exactly what he said. We're blessed to be out here. The fans still want to come out and see the band, and we just want to come out here and rock and have a good time for as long as we can. So thank you, everyone around the world, whoever is watching this, for all your support throughout the years and for the upcoming years. We won't let you down.
Well, thank you guys very much, and definitely looking forward for the show tonight, and good luck on the rest of the tour, and looking forward for the next album.
Great. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
Generation nothing.